Hello everybody, welcome to episode 46 of First Frames First.
On today's episode, we're bringing in a very special guest, my dad, Ken Green, integral part of a bunch of our projects over the years. We're going to talk about some funny stories that he's had, some stuff growing up, and just talk about the movies that he loves and what it's been like working with us.
And a quick question, Jason, why are you shorter than your father? Who are we?
Nobodies!
Speak for yourself.
Okay. We're Canadian filmmakers with the dream of surviving financially on the backs of our films.
Welcome to our show where we bring people along on our film journey.
Maybe we can learn a thing or two.
Maybe we can teach people a thing or two while drinking beers.
I mean, if you can't drink beers while filmmaking, what's the point?
We are Fable Forest Films, failing our way to success.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. I mean, our show. First Frames First.
Welcome. Welcome to episode 46 of First Frames First.
I'm your host, Jason Green.
And I'm your other host, holla holla on French toast, Adrian Constantin.
He's been playing too much HQ.
Totally too much HQ.
Today we have a very special guest. Frankly, I'm not sure why he hasn't been on the show in almost 2 years.
And
I'm not really sure.
And if he's here, there's no one listening to the show.
Boom. we have one. No, he'll watch later.
Oh, because it's not live. It's not radio. What am I thinking?
This is my dad, Ken Green, the man who started it all. Well,
He did.
Some of it all.
Half, 50% was started
Boom.
in Ken Green's balls.
So, welcome to the show, Dad.
Thank you very much for having me on.
So
Since you've come all the way down into my house,
That's true.
my place.
We are in your place. He needed someone to move an armoire.
what is
Yes.
an armoire?
It's essentially a large place to put your clothes. It's
Okay.
a really big dresser.
A cupboard?
A
Yeah.
dresser that's heavier than one man can put down the stairs on his own.
Yes.
Some people use them if they don't have enough closet space in the in your bedroom,
Yeah.
and usually the gal will take up the whole closet, and the guy is left with an armoire.
The gal.
Totally. I get that. My wife has so much of the closet. I don't even know how I live. I'm in the closet. Why am I? You're right. I need an armoire.
If my wife was listening, she would. First of all, she doesn't. But if she was, she would let you know that I take up most of the walk-in closet in our house.
Don't.
She gets really mad at me. She keeps saying that she wants to throw out my shirts and clothes and stuff.
But you only ever wear jeans and a shirt.
I know, but I have a lot of shirts. I have 2 pairs of jeans and 40 shirts, so it makes her mad.
And then some people like me that when I'm working, I have a uniform, so it's like 2 sets of clothes.
That's it. Casual pants for when you're watching TV. Okay, here's a quick question.
No, I just sit and watch TV naked. So
Now, this is amazing. Because this is...
Let's discuss this further.
So, no poo stains on the couch.
Oh,
Okay.
listen. First,
Yeah.
wet wipes.
Okay.
Then-
Wet wipes all the way. Okay.
Then, dry wipes. Then wet wipes again.
Then shower.
and they have a new doggy shampoo thing, like the little vacuum cleaner. So now it's got a little shampoo thing, so you can use that too.
It wouldn't be an indie film podcast without a little poo discussion.
Now, a question. When you guys get home, and it's now relaxing time,
Yeah.
do you whip off your jeans and climb into your comfy pants?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, you do?
And since we just got home here, we were out at the movies and we just got home.
Yeah.
I was just going to say,
Do you guys all want to take your jeans off and put on some comfy pants?
no, I wasn't going to ask you guys to do that. I was going to say, if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to put on a more relaxing pair of shorts than my jeans.
Yeah.
No, because here's the thing. We can,
You can see my okay.
So
I'll leave the jeans on
keep the
then.
jeans on.
Because the shorts are like
Short.
No, they're,
short shorts.
no, they're jean shorts.
Jean shorts.
They're
Love
jorts.
jeans.
They've got like little bits of jean.
Oh yeah,
They're
just
like
hanging
little scragglies.
tassels. No, so I will 100%. It's relaxing time. The pants come off. The stretchy, shorts go on.
Comfy,
Comfy pants, and now I'm ready to just relax at home.
for sure.
Do you ever go take a shower, wrap the towel around, and then just go sit down and watch TV with just the towel?
Yes.
I don't.
But here's the thing. I live here by myself.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I have 2 sons.
it's just the guy on the conjugal cable that's looking through the the little
camera on the
little
TV.
camera on the
little
TV.
iris.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sneaky.
So-
So who are you, hey? Listen, how do you pronounce that Chinese phone?
Huawei.
Huawei? It's like all
Huawei?
vowels. Huawei. It's like all vowels. Nobody knows how to say it.
Huawei.
But are the Chinese putting secret chips inside these phones in order to
They're
surveil?
they're in every phone.
They're not in just every phone. They're in everything.
Oh,
Everything.
well, yes.
The
I
water
mean,
cooler.
If
Adrian
you
was
don't- if
talking
you don't
about-
think-
Is there a
if you
surveillance
don't think
chip
this
inside my
GoPro,
beer?
well, no, but the GoPro and the Tascam and
Who's
our
it-
phone.
Just
Who's
to
it
give
beaming
just to
to?
give you an example. So my friend that lives upstairs, Lucy, her ceiling fan, and it's got a globe. She broke the globe. So here I just was searching online for globes. Well, this was a few days ago. So now on my laptop, on my phone, there's advertisements for these little globes.
Oh, yeah.
You just search one thing, and then it's like on everything
Oh, yes. They are watching.
And listening.
and listening.
For sure.
And
They're
coming-
listening.
And
So
coming to
ha-
get you.
You actually probably have thousands of listeners that are listening in to your podcast.
Totally, and they become fans.
Oh, yes.
Those NSA agents who are listening to us, they're like, these guys are fucking cool. And
I don't
I'm
know
going to
if-
become a fan.
I don't know if they're NSA, but they certainly could be CSIS.
Ceases.
Canadian.
Yeah. Now, I had a friend once who...
Full
Just once.
I had a friend one time.
You started laughing while I was taking a breath in.
I know, because I thought it was hilarious. I had a friend once.
So he didn't know what to do. He was working as a camera assistant, and he wasn't sure what to do with his life.
Right.
And so he... are you having to like...
I'm having so many
arch
problems.
down to talk into the mic?
We're gonna have to start all over.
No.
So he went
Nobody
into...
expects quality.
He went to the where you sign up to join the military, and he said to the guys, I want to join CSIS. And the guy looked over and just smiled at him and said, "So you want to be a spy, hey?" Well, he was probably like,
Oh, you want to be a spy, eh?
Yeah, eh. Anyway, the unfortunate end of the story is that he had a problem with his heart, so he could not join the army.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I would definitely do spy stuff.
You would do the spy stuff?
Oh yeah.
I don't think that you could.
Why is that?
Not a good enough liar. Look at this face.
Could you do the spy stuff?
Totally.
Oh, are you a spy?
No.
Are you allowed to say, yes, I am a spy?
I think so.
Oh really?
Sure.
It's not like the police where you ask someone, are you a spy? And then they have to say, yes, I'm a spy.
True.
The police actually, believe it or not, don't have to tell you they're a police officer either.
Oh, they don't? Isn't that then entrapment? Or is that like a
No,
myth?
no, it's
It's a myth.
you cannot say you're a police officer. To give you an example, years ago I was a fair inspector.
Well, you can. You just shouldn't get caught.
I was a fair inspector for
And
transit.
And that's basically the same as being a policeman.
Correct. You can say anything that you want. Oh, a fair inspector? Totally. Just like being a policeman.
Yes, I did have handcuffs.
Ooh.
They weren't department issued.
I did have
Ken, I don't
No, I-
have to talk to you again.
They had feathers on
Is it
them.
warm in here? They have feathers.
They had feathers on them. And they came from the love shop.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. So
that's
listen,
good.
on a serious note, you were telling a story.
Sure.
So it's actually a very funny story where I'm a fair inspector but I'm finished my shift and I'm going home. Now, my uniform is like a police uniform.
Tell the people what a fair inspector is, just so they don't get the wrong idea.
All
You're
right.
basically
Basically, a fare inspector is just someone who works for the transit department, and you're just catching people that are cheating, not paying their fare.
So you're going to fairs.
No.
And making sure that people don't cheat when they're going on the
We get on the bus.
You get on. It's a bus fare, like the fare that
in
you
a
pay.
in a fairground.
No. Getting on the bus.
Oh, just on the train, in the fairground.
On a bus.
Ah,
Not at a fairground.
Fair enough.
okay, but why a fair inspector?
Because
then,
a
if you're
fair
if
is-
you're at the fair.
Because it's called a fare. F-A-R-E.
Damn it! Take it. Can't keep it going.
No, you can't.
So you're basically the law on the bus.
Correct.
Did you have a badge?
I did.
Oh.
Did you have a gun?
I might still have it right in my desk.
Didn't you have a buddy that wore a bulletproof vest on the bus?
Can't remember.
He was the guy that wanted the department issue pepper spray.
I think they might. I actually think they might have bulletproof vests issued
Oh,
now.
really?
Oh, yeah. Like even when I was
Wow.
there, and this was like back in, let's say between around 1993, 94-ish, around there.
So things could get quite serious.
Oh, yes.
I suppose
Very
everybody,
serious.
Everybody
Like-
uses the boost.
When Control gets on the phone on your radio and
Criminals.
says, "Don't get off at this bus stop because there's a gang war going on with knives and you don't know what else is there," then you don't get off the bus because we're not equipped.
To handle a gang
handle
war.
that, like,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's crazy. It's a gang
Definitely
fight.
not.
So let me get back to that funny story.
Yes.
But so I looked like a police officer, and the interesting thing was I also loved Crown Victorias because it was a great car or whatever. So my car looked just like a police car, but an undercover police car because it was brown. Mm-hmm. And I'm driving along the Queensway, but if you're here in Toronto, that's like the 401. And I happen to notice this lady driving beside me. I'm coming up beside her, and her purse is sitting on top of the roof of her car. She's doing 100 kilometers an hour, and the purse is not budging.
There's 3 metal dildos inside of it.
I was going to say gold bars.
Okay. That'll be
So
better.
I'm thinking, okay, I have to get her attention, right? And I pull up beside her, and I do have a badge, so I show my badge through the window or whatever, and I'm pointing, pull over. So she pulls over, and I pull in behind her. I put my 4-ways on and all that. And then I come up to the window. Now, because I like to joke around and make people laugh and all that,
Please, get out of the car!
she rolls down her window, and she says, "Officer, did I do something wrong?" And I don't say anything like I can't say that I'm a police officer, but I look like...
But you don't have to say that you're not a police
I didn't
officer.
say anything.
Yeah.
And so I know her purse is sitting on the roof, so I ask her for her license and registration. And she starts looking down, and she's looking beside her on the seat, and she's looking down, and she goes, "I don't know where my purse is." And I reach up, and I grab it, and I pull it. I said, "Is this it?"
It was full of quarters.
You would not believe how heavy her purse was.
Yes,
It
we
was
would.
full of coin.
Wow.
And that's why it stayed up there. And then I explained to her, I said, "I'm just a fare inspector for,
And she was like, "From the fair? Can you grab me a beer, please? This podcast is rough."
And get this. This podcast has a fridge right beside.
Boom.
Yeah, man.
How are you doing there, Adrian? Are you good for another one?
No, I'm good. I'm good. So, Ken, let's talk a little bit about Ken's history with Jason's filmmaking, because Jason has
Yeah, I mean,
been involved in filmmaking long before we were,
Hanging out.
spooning. And so, really,
What-
were you involved in those early film exploits?
Well,
what would you say are your earliest memories of me goofing around with film? Do you remember?
I do remember, what was it called? With Rod.
Oh yeah, World's Greatest.
World's Greatest.
Or Guinness.
Guinness,
Sure.
whatever.
Did you help out on that film?
Oh, yeah. Helped out a little bit. And I actually have some pictures of... I actually just saw the pictures the other day. And there's myself and Jason's, your lovely wife, Anne, and the 2 boys.
Yep.
And we're holding up a sheet that we had made, said, "Go, Rod, go," for one of his exploits. Or, his,
Yeah.
challenges or whatever. So that was pretty good. Yeah, I've always kind of been around. Maybe not right at the start. Jason, started to get into it or whatever. And,
Do you remember my Indiana Jones movie? That was probably my first foray into goofing around with film.
You
You know
made
what?
an Indiana Jones movie?
I did.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was a amalgamation of Indiana Jones and Star Wars, and it was called Indiana Jones: Vader's Lost Ark. And it had Jenna in it. It had Mike in it. He was in our bathtub in our old house.
Oh, in Lanark.
Yeah.
Did he have a see-through white top on?
What it was our bathtub had those sliding glass doors, and it was an X-wing. So he got in it and he was like, shoo, and then he would take off. It was pretty great.
Cool.
I believe it or not. Oh, so the other thing was, we turned it into a silent film because we didn't know how to record audio of any kind. So we wrote on little cards, and then we filmed each card, and then we cut the cards into all the audio or the footage that we were doing.
Cool.
And then we made a soundtrack for the whole thing. And when I showed it to my class, this was like part of a drama. I was failing drama, so sorry. But I was failing one of my high school classes, and this was the last project. And I got a whole bunch of people from school involved. We made this 10-minute thing, or 5 minutes, I can't remember. And I passed. So it was my saving grace. But yeah, we made a whole soundtrack on cassette tapes. And basically there was a part in the movie that was like, press play now. And you would watch the video on mute and play the cassette tape in the audience so you could get the whole experience.
Holy smoke.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was pretty
Video
great.
and audio was separate.
I do have it.
I do remember.
Digitized. See it.
Digitized.
I do remember you did a short film, and it was in the church basement that was like a dungeon in Toronto.
Oh.
And it was was it a 24-hour short
Yes,
film
it
race?
was. Yeah.
And you didn't find out what you had 3 props and a sound, or a prop and a
Was
sound.
one of them a carrot? I'm not sure why. I
No,
thought
but we
that.
might have had a picture
that
of a
was
carrot.
another one. Yeah, I did a lot of these types of short film contests or whatever, but no, this one was called Classified, and actually Dad was in it.
Yes.
So that was probably your first acting gig. You played a cop.
And it was a silent movie, so there was no speaking, and it was all action, and I thought it was pretty awesome. It was pretty.
Everyone.
I was the
I have that one too.
I was the undercover or the detective or whatever in a suit, and then I had to question a perp and Vinny, I think it was his name was.
It's totally fine. I'm just gonna hold this. Somebody. Oh, this is rough.
Adrian,
Thank
what's
you.
going on down there?
Sorry, everyone.
Adrian's here to save the day.
All right, perfect. This podcast is the rudest. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Going awesome.
Yeah, you just bring your big old self in there.
Thanks, buddy.
You guys are learning
so
every
yeah,
podcast.
Learning what not to do.
We do need those little mic stands where the mic sits in, points right at your face.
Yes.
Set it on a table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I actually
we gotta
saw
buy
one
more
for
things.
Sale there the other day because you know how I'm always
Looking
checking
for
things
things.
out or whatever, and
Ken is a hoarder.
Ken is a hoarder. My dad is a major hoarder. Now, I'm not going to say that this hasn't come in handy many times. Let's finish the classified story, though. We're going to show it somehow. I'm going to put it up on our YouTube channel somehow.
Okay.
But he's questioning the perp, and he opens this folder called Classified, and he starts taking out pictures and slamming them on the table, and it's like a puppy and like
a beach ball,
Osama bin Laden.
and
a rubber
a
ducky.
beach ball,
A
couple of things,
Anyways.
and then he's looking at them and he's going.
It was
He did pretty awesome though. His
it was
facial
good.
expressions and all that were like pretty awesome. And then at the end, you know, when I throw down the last picture or whatever, I basically stand up, and then I go 2 hands on the table like this, and then I go, and then it's a lion roaring. That was the sound effect.
It was a good time.
Cool.
We had a good time.
Yep.
So back to hoarding. My
I'd
dad
like to
never throws anything out, and you don't get to clarify. I'm sorry, this is our show.
Now just sit and take it.
This is going out
Tractor-
nationwide.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yeah, totally.
Worldwide, people are going to
Anyone-
think I'm a hoarder.
Well,
Yeah, well.
I'm going to lift that camera up and poke things around here. Poke the camera around.
hold on, everyone. Let me ask you a question. For how long have you been a devout Catholic, would you say? Good answer. Hold on.
That means that he hasn't been a devout Catholic at all. But
Here's a plate of the Pope,
Yeah,
everyone.
Wait, but okay. Hang on.
this is good. This is going to get good.
There we go.
So, oh, there's another plate.
Yeah, show that one.
What is that?
Tall ship of the Cuddy Sark.
Here's a green M&M still in the case with a Christmas hat.
That's very important. You never throw green M&Ms with Christmas hats away.
No.
Okay? What
So
is?
here's the thing. We're gonna stop now. We're gonna stop showing all the stuff.
Someday.
But my point is that there's random things all over. I mean, my office has stuff as well. One could say that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
No.
However, one of us purges all the time. The other one has a transport truck full of stuff. Used to.
Used to.
I'm glad
Now.
you said used to.
Now, from time to time, when we're like, does anyone have 37 toasters?
You're like, Jason, does your dad have toasters?
Does your dad have some sort of table that could be used in such a way? Yeah,
I
he
get
does.
text messages all the time. Do you have this, Dad? Do you have this?
Yeah, he does.
I do.
Do you have a door? Just a door off hinges we could maybe use?
Smash.
No, but you know what? I did see a door on the side of the road, and I'm going to go pick it up. The other day, I saw a whole credenza. It's brand new, sitting right out on the curb.
So I picked it up for you.
Yep.
It's in your garage.
He sent me a text message the other day, which was, this would be great for you guys. And it was a whole, like, flight of stairs on wheels with the whole...
You know when you go into Home Depot and they got those the metal flights of stairs that
Yeah.
go up
with
to
the
top
landing
shelf?
on the top and railings.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
free.
free. He's like, for free. I'm like, yeah, but where are we going to put that? Like, that's when we need, like, a warehouse or something. So,
Yeah.
everyone, one of these days we're going to make Dad the chief of going and finding us random stuff to put in our movie warehouse, and it's going to be amazing. Best job
Exactly.
ever.
Keep supporting Fable Forest Films and
Ken keeps bringing the things in the door, and then Jason will purge all the time. He's purging, so there's like this flow of things. It's a good team effort, actually.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, Ken, now you were instrumental in helping us on Shifted. Can you talk a little bit about, like, I suppose what you did? And now we're in the middle of shooting Shifted, so we have another round coming up. So just tell us a little bit about Shifted and what you did and how you helped, and
Maybe what you saw.
Yeah, what you saw, and maybe some of the difficulties that you also had, because you know it wasn't always easy for you.
yeah, that's hard. I just think I love to support Jason and his efforts in filmmaking, and got to know you and really enjoy your company and all that, and I just love to help out.
him beat him at golf, so...
I just love to help out any way I can, and if it just means being a gopher and going for this, going for that, or whatever, I'll just do it and get what you need. And because at the end of the day, I'm like really excited that I want to see the finished product. You know, the same as we went to the Art of Eight Limbs the other day, and first time seeing the
Finished product.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
going, wow, you know, that's pretty amazing. And so I've seen, you know, the work from the start.
Yeah.
And to me, every time it's getting better and better and better. You know.
Yeah.
What'd you think of? I don't want to. I want to come back to Shifted, but we just the Art of Eight Limbs. It's been out on Bell 5 TV1 since end of August,
Yeah.
and so you know anybody that has Bell can go watch it there. But there was a lot of people in the Muay Thai community that were basically saying, I haven't been able to watch it. I don't have Bell. So we decided to have a screening at our local theater in Kitchener, the Apollo, who we love. What was it like watching the series on the big screen? And did you notice us at the end?
Yes, on the last fight
did?
and
Yeah.
handing out the prizes. Absolutely, I noticed you guys.
That was my favorite part. You really saw my bald spot. It was... I don't know who chose that angle, but really made me self-conscious.
Fire him.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I looked amazing in the last shot, so we were going to take that one for sure.
yeah, you both were going, and then you were coming back, kind of a little bit towards the camera, and I'm going, yeah, they like that. They're on there.
We just wanted to put ourselves in there just a little bit. It's always nice.
So in the movie Shifted that they're working on now, at some point in time you may see, a cascade of cars and whatever, and you might see a hand sticking out the window, and that's probably my hand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, were you you played Lauren's dad? Did you not?
Yes.
And you
That's
ran.
right.
Ran. Yes.
You ran.
You may have gotten eaten.
You
by
may
our
have gotten
monsters.
eaten.
So we will see what happens there. I don't
Yeah.
know how much of that we're gonna see, but you should see
There's
something.
there's a couple lines in there.
Getting to one of the other movies that Jason did or that you were working on, it never came to fruition totally, was Guinness, and so there was kind of I did a couple of roles in there, but one was like a headless.
More than one.
Yes,
Oh.
because one was a headless role, and basically I was a golfer. And you know how Tiger Woods and all those golfers, they bounce the ball on their club.
Oh, you weren't headless. You were in that.
No. You were just
No,
showing
you're
me
right.
from like here down.
You're right.
So I'm bouncing.
Oh, okay.
Now, I played golf since I was 8 years old, and I can bounce the ball forever, right? But once the camera was rolling, the ball is falling down or whatever, and I'm picking it up and going like this, and it would fall off, and Jason's going, Dad, you can do that forever. What's the matter with you? But I was...
No, actually, you know what? You weren't headless. I got the whole thing because...
You did?
You did this whole thing where you at the end you grabbed it and you were like... You walked away or whatever. Anyways, it was pretty...
No,
adorable.
I don't know. You sure? I haven't seen
I
it.
am sure.
I haven't seen it because I remember you saying we want to keep you headless because you're gonna play Rod's dad
Maybe.
because at our boss in the courier scene when he comes into the office.
That's a good point. You played him too.
Yes, and
Did you say shit? I can't remember.
I can't remember, but I was supposed to get very angry at Rod, I guess, right?
I remember my dad being upset with me because we wrote some swears into the script, and he was like, "I don't think that I would say this type of potty language." He's really come a long way in his old age. Now he can say shit if he has to.
Did you never swear? You never used to swear.
Never used to swear.
Do you swear a little bit now?
My dad was the quintessential. And I told that guy that he was full of shit.
But the kids were pretty good. They didn't. There were a couple of times I would hear them.
Then I got to the age where I was like, "You go tell that fuck." Dad was like, "Oh,
My ears. You're
My
hurting
ears.
me.
You hurt my ears.
Yeah.
I'm a bad influence
On your dad?
in recent years, or a good influence, depending on how you look at it."
I'm used to it now. It doesn't.
There you go.
I mean, there have been a couple of times that lately because of people driving and my situation, whatever, that I've actually gotten quite upset.
Yep.
And there's nobody in the car,
Right.
but I'll let one out.
There you go.
Like nobody knows, right?
Yeah.
Nobody
But,
knows. Feels good though.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it feels really good sometimes. I mean, I have had situations where I've let it go. Like, I just got to release the pressure. It's not about who's hearing it, it's about me saying it. And I have let loose a string of nasty words
But you can say,
that...
for 5 cents.
Doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
No. I'm legitimately angry, and it's just helping me control my anger. I've only ever had that situation probably twice in my life, where I just run my mouth and let the swears come out, and then I'm calm, and it's not to anyone. I am also by myself, but it's just I'm just mad about something.
I don't mind letting it go now and again. Like if there's people talking behind me in the theater, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes.
Just let them know.
Just them.
Yeah.
I'm just alone in my seat, minding my own business, wishing that people would shut up during the previews.
Very difficult.
I go to the movies to watch the previews. I
a
know
big part of it.
everyone
Yes,
thinks that the
yes.
movie hasn't started yet, but the movie started. Once the trailers are on, shut up.
Yes, I agree.
Just saying. Okay, this podcast is over. I'm just kidding.
So mad right now. So
So back
sorry.
to Shifted. Yes?
Back to Shifted. So, and one of the things that Ken was instrumental in was set deck. And making our house look a little bit like people had been living there for a while, and they were hiding out, and they had stuck newspapers on the windows. We keep coming back to this. We say, we don't know how to stick the newspapers on the windows like Ken.
Here's the thing. We would put newspaper on the windows, and he'd be like, terrible, take it off.
And he would like
Do
fold
some
it.
origami, put it back on the windows. We're like,
Fold
that
it
is
up.
really good.
That looks amazing.
Ken is the artist at newspapering windows.
To me, I think, honestly, I don't think he was as instrumental in set deck as he was in just keeping... We shot in a house for about 9 days, right? Weekend. And we were there all the time. There were some people that lived there while we were shooting, but most of the people kind of came and went every single day. We fed everyone.
That was huge.
That was
like
a big deal.
feeding every day.
You making
Oh my
sure that
goodness!
everybody had food.
And
That
it
was a
wasn't
big
just
deal.
it wasn't just one meal. It was like
picking up, and it was
breakfast,
picking up coffee
breakfast,
first thing
lunch,
in the morning.
lunch,
Yeah.
dinner,
And
Yeah,
I
and
think
and sometimes late.
what Dad did really was he let us work, and he just took care of everything, right? So
Yeah.
we'd be wrapping up for the day, and by the time we got downstairs, the kitchen was already clean. All the garbage was
Yeah.
downstairs in the garage.
Like
blah, blah,
I don't know how
Like,
we
it's-
could have done it without you. Honestly,
would have
we
been-
would have
Thanks.
we would have been like in big trouble.
Yeah.
I just look at it as if you don't keep on top of it, things are going to get pretty bad.
Oh,
Totally.
100%.
And
Things
then
would
you,
have got
and
terrible.
even at times we were losing some props here and there, whatever.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm in a way lucky because if someone shows me where they've put it down, I'll remember where they've put it down. Right.
That is good.
And I, for the most part, was trying to get them to put them in
You're
bins
right.
or
Like
whatever.
we were. It was.
So Ken,
was fun, though.
basically,
We were losing props all the time, and he would go, "Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I've got a bin, and everybody put the props in the bin,
Yeah.
and that's where the props are."
because some actors are keeping their personal props. They put it in the pocket of the wardrobe because we don't have a dedicated props person and a wardrobe person. So anyway, so we just had all the props would go into the bin, and I suppose you were like just a person that did a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Really. And I would have to say that anybody that's undertaking any kind of indie film, you have to have that person. Like you are concentrating on the key roles, but then you need someone who's going to help you.
It was great.
Well, you guys can't think of absolutely everything. I mean, you're focusing on
That
a
one
shot. You're focusing on the lighting. You're focusing on your actors and actresses delivering.
Well,
certain ways. So it happened to be me, but if it's somebody else, then takes all those things away from you. I mean, that's.
and here's
That's
the thing:
important.
as an indie, we learn every time we go. As an indie film company, you might go out there and make something, and you might be doing it all, but then you're gonna forget a thing, or you're gonna waste an hour looking for something, or you are gonna have to spend an hour afterwards cleaning and tidying or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a huge deal. Having a human being able to do all that kind of stuff is amazing.
Yeah. So thanks, Ken.
You're
That
very
was,
welcome.
it was amazing. We couldn't.
So then
we couldn't have done
when
it.
we finished, Dad went and had spinal surgery.
Yes.
Has spent enough time recovering, so now we're ready to shoot again. So
We've been waiting on
We've
you,
been waiting.
Ken. Come on.
Oh, jeez.
How long? Jesus.
so hopefully all the rest of our cast are listening to this show because we're ready to rock.
There we go.
We spent some time working with Tabby and Dave, our monster builders.
Yeah.
So we currently have
Excited
for-
about that.
Yeah.
Four new
hopefully-
masks being built.
Yeah. So that it is in essence it is going to turn out like a latex. They were going to use latex, a latex helmet,
Mm-hmm.
in essence. So the helmet would come down over the eyes, keep the mouth open, everything make up to everything bloodied and gory, and the creature will be on there. It should look, I don't know, after our meeting and sitting down and discussing with Dave and Tabby, we were pretty excited about where things were going, and we had the next steps, and so hopefully this monster's going to look pretty cool.
I think it's going to look amazing. I mean, I've done a little bit of, not near what Dave has done, but a little bit on my own, like for Halloween and stuff like that. And I've done some scars and like broken bones sticking out.
Yeah.
And my first year when I started to get into that, I was using, I'm going to a Halloween store and buying blood and buying this and whatever. And I was buying the cheap scars, the cheap, things or whatever. And then I was buying the cheap blood.
Right.
But as I started to get a little bit better, I was getting better scars that fit on. It was easier to blend them into your arm or you're on your face or whatever. And then I also would buy the more expensive blood. Mm-hmm. The more expensive blood looked so much real, like,
Yeah.
And so here I am. I'm driving transit buses on Halloween night, and I'm like all dressed up as a zombie or whatever.
A
wounded zombie, and like blood everywhere. And most people when they get on a bus, when they first get on the bus, their head is down. They're always looking down, and then they kind of look up right the last second as they're coming, into the bus, and then they look up and they go,
because they see this.
Oh, full, not just my face, like everything. I'm not wearing my uniform. I'm wearing it like a zombie thing or whatever. I mean, it's
no pants.
It's shorts. No, but pretty funny. And then
cool.
Not only that, I didn't do it just for Halloween, but I would do like an elf for Christmas and
cool.
A leprechaun for St. Patty's Day. And then people were asking me, like, what are you going to be for this one? What are you
Little
gonna be
baby in diapers for Valentine's Day. It's like an arrow and a quiver full of hearts.
That's right.
Are you going to be a bunny for Easter? I go, no.
I'm gonna be a chicken.
I was gonna say Jesus, but that's
you're not allowed to
probably
make
inappropriate.
that joke. I mean, you did it anyway.
I did it.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
No, that's totally fine. With the plate of the Pope.
This
all the
show.
Popes
When I said
wearing
this
it.
show is over, I meant the whole show.
Yeah.
We're gonna be shut down.
Down
YouTube's
in
gonna be like. So, speaking of YouTube, maybe we shouldn't speak of YouTube, but anyways, my Lex did a little YouTube video with his buddy, and it was pretty cute. So they did a video, but in the video, he was watching some music video on YouTube, and he was dancing in the video. It was kind of funny. It was for the credits.
Cool.
Then he uploaded it to YouTube, and YouTube shut him down.
Oh yeah, totally.
What?
I guess the question.
Music.
I guess the question is.
He can't use somebody else's music
So
that he
here's the
doesn't
thing,
have the
though.
rights
They're
to
little
use.
kids.
I know, but so here's the thing, and this is what
Yeah.
I would love to talk to somebody about this.
Yeah.
When you watch YouTube, you see all kinds of people using different songs and videos and stuff. So I don't understand
No.
how some of that stuff is up.
No.
Oh yeah.
Like no more than 30 seconds.
Okay. So anytime you see like a crowd of people that start to do a crazy dance start to
In a
do
shopping
the
mall or
Gangnam
something?
Style in a shopping mall or whatever, that song is playing and they're doing a dance and they're doing whatever. The thing is
Did Lex monetize his video?
no. So we gotta start saying like, look, if it's a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old trying to do something fun for their class or whatever, I don't know. But it's interesting.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, the bottom line is if somebody has spent a whole lot of money making an artistic thing, I mean, you shouldn't just be able to, because people would use that to make their own money.
Right.
Especially on
But
YouTube.
if
They
they-
make a really funny video using somebody else's music that somebody else has paid a lot of money to create.
But if you're doing something and you're not monetizing it and you're not
Yeah.
making money out of it,
I mean, I suppose...
and you're just doing it
I
just
suppose
for
if it gets really famous and then turns you into something that you can then monetize other stuff for.
Yeah,
If that's the
you're
YouTube video
basically-
that launches your...
You're using somebody else's creative work for yourself to do something. And I get it, Lex is just a kid, but like...
so then why
So is
why
everybody.
have music at a dance club then? Like
Totally. I mean, the thing is that I think they pay a certain amount to certain organizations just to use the music in hockey games. So
let's
you
say
got to pay for this stuff, right?
let's say you go to a dance, right?
Yeah.
And so the club is might be paying for the music that they're using at the club.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody takes a video of all their friends dancing away, but the
Yeah.
music is in the background.
Yeah.
So they're making their money off of
So
there.
long-
It just depends if you put it on YouTube.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. You put it on
Totally.
YouTube and then all of a sudden it gets shut down. But they're already being paid for the
Not for the
music
video.
playing.
They paid for the music to be in the nightclub. They didn't pay for the music to be in the video.
Yeah.
But that means they're getting paid, well,
Because
really.
it's different. It's not in the club anymore.
You know
it's
what
on
I
YouTube, right?
You know what I would say about all this?
Well,
Oh, for 5 cents.
Well,
Well,
and
I suppose.
but here's
I
the-
do suppose if you were the artist,
Look, this is so. Let me put it to you this way, because it feels abstract because you guys are not musicians, right? So what if somebody we made Shifted, somebody else took Shifted, chopped it up into pieces, put it online, and then monetize that? Is that fair?
nope.
No. Nobody can use a piece of your artwork that you have paid money to create. Like Shifted cost us money to make. Those guys who have been in those music studios, yeah, they got music studios behind them that have millions of dollars, but that music cost millions of dollars to make.
So how
can't-
do you explain? Sometimes you watch YouTube videos and they're using clips from Star Wars or Spider-Man
Yeah,
or this or this or
Clips,
this. Like,
I think clips are okay, and and
Yeah.
that's where you were saying
Yeah.
about the 30 under 30 seconds.
But
or-
also, if you're discussing it, if you're talking about it like in documentary style, if you are educating, if it's under the guise of education, not just entertainment, then you can use the clips. Like people who put full trailers in their YouTube videos and talk about the trailers and talk about it, generally they tend not to get shut down because it's more about education.
Mm-hmm.
So those little clips of movies tend to not be an issue. But they're really tight on music, especially if it's pop music. Like, do you remember what the song was?
It was a French song.
Yeah, man. And so, I mean, they just get really sticky, particularly if the French song was like Sony Entertainment.
Yeah,
And
it was some
Sony has
sort
a
of
tight
pop.
relationship with YouTube, and Sony is like, if anybody plays this, cut them off straight away.
so do they have algorithms that figure that out, or
Yeah.
do they actually have people listening and watching?
No, it's an algorithm that can pick up your music. It's like your song gets shut down immediately. So we wanted to
We've
use...
had a couple shut down.
Yeah.
And the only thing was, in Lex's case, I didn't see an option to contest, but we've put videos up where was it 8 limbs, or what was it that we recently had?
Yes, we had one with 8 limbs.
And
Where one
we
of
had
the
the
songs-
licenses to use all of the songs that we used in
Yeah.
8 limbs, courtesy of Bell. Thanks, Bell.
Hmm.
And when we put one of the videos up, YouTube shut it down, but we contested it, and we were like, no, we actually have the license. If you want to reach out to us, here's the name of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
We have the license to use this stuff, and then they let it go.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is like, certainly it's a computer thing. It able to pick up the song, hear the song.
What I did tell Lex, though, is in the future, I was like, if you're doing some sort of fun video or whatever, don't have any music playing in the background. Put the music in after the fact using YouTube, because YouTube has all kinds of songs that you can add after the fact. Like, you can play over top of your video. So go and then hunt for something for free or whatever.
Yeah.
But don't be playing some music on
Or
the background.
just do a test. Like, just try and upload something that's under 30 seconds and see what happens.
I remember once we did one of Lex's old podcasts. I think I might have told you guys this before. But Lex and I played chess. That was the whole episode that we did for him. So while we played chess, we listened to Beethoven on a record. YouTube shut us down.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So then, because it was just us playing chess, we grabbed it down, we cut out the sound completely, we put it back up, and YouTube allowed us to use their version of Beethoven. We put it right over top,
Yeah.
and it was almost the same video.
Yeah.
But it was YouTube's licensed. You could
Wow.
choose Beethoven, whatever.
So you can
Yeah.
you can search on YouTube for free music that you can
they've got
use.
tons of stuff, for sure.
And I will say that it's going to become, as we move forward, sort of like copyright issues and the ownership of media is going to become a very sticky thing, because we're moving into such a media-driven, media-consuming
And
you
so
know,
fast.
society.
Everything is going so fast.
And you look at, and it bleeds into piracy also. Like being able to download any movie at any point. It's the Wild West right now. Like people are riding around and they're just stealing programs left, right, and center. But that is going to get shut down, 100%. When full transparency comes and everybody can see what everybody's doing and what everybody downloads, it just won't be worth it. Like right now, people are able to just. It's like the equivalent of walking into a store, grabbing food off the shelf, and just leaving the store. And nobody stops you. But eventually there's going to be police. Eventually there is going to be you're not going to be able to just wander into the store and grab whatever you want.
Like I was a fare inspector and just don't walk on the bus and don't pay.
Yeah. Not anymore. Especially when the merry-go-round is.
Let me tell you something. You do not want to be in those fuzzy cuffs.
Big trouble. Fuzzy trouble.
Big trouble in a little bus.
I
Short
think
bus.
I don't think that piracy will ever stop, but I think that the free for all that we've had for the last 10, 15 years, it's going to start to peter off as huge companies, get more and more aggressive with the control of their piracy, because they lose money. They can count the money that they're losing. They're like, we lost this much money.
To me, if I was an artist, not that I have any talent to be a musician or anything like that.
True, go on.
But to me, and maybe it's because I've maybe never been someone that just wants a whole pile of money or whatever, But I would be just thrilled if people were listening to my music any which way. Mm-hmm. Because if I make a song or whatever and I put it out, I'm going to be making money from it, right? Through sales and stuff like that or whatever.
If people buy it.
If nobody buys it.
Yeah, well, no, if you make a good song, like look at Hadaway, one hit. And he probably made millions and millions of dollars off of one hit.
When was his one hit?
What is love?
What is love?
Hey, yeah, so that was back in the day when he probably did make millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I hope he saved it and put it into retirement.
He probably. Yeah.
Hey?
These days, it's tough. I think it's tough these days.
Yeah.
For new artists, if you're not on like a big label and you can't get your song out,
music.
huge,
Music is hard. I think that must be one of the when somebody says, you know what, I think I'm going to be a musician, they are choosing a hard road. Man,
Almost anything is a hard road.
I don't know.
Almost,
I feel
almost
like
anything. Like
indie filmmaking, hard road. Everyone.
it is, and it's long.
I've run excavators and bulldozers and all that. Years ago, if some employer gave you an opportunity to... just a minute here.
Oh, sorry, Ken. I'm making Ken... I asked Ken for a beer, but...
He's going to have to...
Sometimes-
While you're down there.
Sometimes he has back pain.
Thank you.
His back pain is why...
Back, leg, everything.
Back, leg, everything pain, and that's why working on Shifted we were so grateful, because...
Yeah, no, I was okay then.
Hurt.
I wasn't too bad then.
Well...
I mean, I still had issues. I still had a lot of issues there. But, anyway... We won't get into the operations and all that, but what I was going to say with things that are harder is, years ago, to learn how to run an excavator, you just needed to find somebody that would train you, through their own company or whatever.
Yeah.
And now, with insurance regulations and all that or whatever, you actually have to go to school to get your heavy equipment certificate.
Yes.
So when I was in Ottawa and we're building a golf course or whatever, we're doing it ourselves, so you don't need the certificates. We're just going and it's just doing mounding and all that. I mean, it's nothing exacting or on a golf course. But when I left there and then I came up to Kitchener,
I don't know if our fans are aware that we built a golf course.
This is an amazing thing that I did not know about you guys when I first met you.
Yeah.
Was that you guys had once together as a team.
Jason, I taught
a golf
Jason
course.
how to run a bulldozer, and taught him
This
to
is amazing.
take out junipers and push them into a pile, and then we would burn them and all that. So
I'd drive along, I'd put the little bulldozer blade in, I'd take out a bush, I'd push all the bushes into a pile, we'd set them on fire.
This was a good day.
You have to understand that growing up and working in IT, you'd tap away on computers all day long. If you got to drive a bulldozer, that was the greatest.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I called it. We had 400 acres there, and I called it my 400 acre sandbox.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, and it was like, as you get you're an older guy or whatever, and you go, these are big boys' toys.
Yeah.
Running an excavator, running a big bulldozer, whatever.
Totally.
Those are big boys' toys.
As my memory goes, you might have to remind me if I did already tell our fans about how I knocked myself unconscious driving a bulldozer.
Oh, maybe, but
I might have.
you can whip that story off
Just
real quick there.
Just real quick. So I was. So the bulldozer I was driving was like a little mini one.
Not many.
And that was the biggest one they would give him. They were like,
No.
we drive that one.
No, I
you
drove-
get the baby.
It was
there
the
was two.
smallest one we had,
Yeah.
but it's a finishing dozer. It's a D3, which is a fair size for Jason.
Okay, good point. It was a big bulldozer. It was the smaller of the two bulldozers that I learned how to drive. But I'm driving along and I'm cutting these little bushes out of the field. So I'm driving along and there's a ditch. So I would go over the ditch like this and move along and go do the thing, and then I'd be coming back and I'd go through the ditch again. All good. One time I was going through the ditch, I essentially was going over, and then as I dipped down, the big blade caught in the dirt, and the whole dump truck just stopped dead. Bulldozer, sorry. Now this bulldozer, luckily, had a windshield. Unluckily, I flew forward because there was no seatbelts. Flew forward, smashed into the windshield, knocked myself out cold. Then I woke up, probably 20 or 30 seconds later, not very long, but I was driving in the field again.
The bulldozer was still moving.
It got itself undone and whatever. So
that must have been terrifying to watch. If somebody was watching,
nobody was around.
No, but I mean, if somebody had seen that, they would have been like, oh man.
So a couple things. If there was no windshield, I probably would have been dead because I probably would have went flying forward,
and then the bulldozer
fell out,
would have
and
gone
then
over you.
it would have went over me for sure.
Like, how does the bulldozer drive forward without you pushing a thing?
Yeah, it would have stopped. No. It goes forward. It just drives. You have to push the things in to make it either stop or turn.
So wait, you put it into
when you put it, so you put it into gear on the side, and then there's two. So the big one had the two handles on the floor with your feet.
Mm-hmm.
The smaller one that I was driving at the time had these two handles, and what you do is you push them forward. So you push them forward to stop, pull them like this to stop one track and let the other track go. So you would turn. Pull them like this, you would turn. But essentially, if you just left your hands off and you put it in go, just like a lawnmower, it would just drive. And yeah, there you have it. So what I did learn afterwards was that when crossing a hole of any kind in a dump truck, you have to go over it at a diagonal, so that when you're driving over, one track is on one side of the ditch and the other track is on the other side, and then you go across, and as this track then leaves and goes into the ditch, most of the rest of the bulldozer is on the other side, then you don't die. So take it from me, don't drive a bulldozer because they're dangerous.
And Jason came and did all that for free too.
I did. That was fun. It was basically just fun.
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
How long were you there for free?
A year and a year.
Maybe a couple of years.
No,
but not every day. Not every day. Just like on a weekend, like on a Saturday.
Weekends and evenings and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I worked a full-time job.
Oh, you had a full-time job. You weren't full-time on the golf course.
No.
Yeah.
So it was pretty great though.
Yeah, no, I was
amazing.
I was full-time on the golf course. It was a lot of work, but it was cool. Not many
fun.
people get to say, golfers that get to say that I had a hand in building a golf course. 36 holes on 400 acres. And so that's a little bit of claim to fame or whatever, which is pretty awesome.
And even me, who did very little, I can go play and be like, I remember that. I remember this.
Yeah,
so it's pretty great.
Yeah.
So, what happened to the golf course?
That is a tale for another.
Listen,
we don't want to get into.
That's not. You don't have enough podcast hours for that. But anyway, it's a long story.
I know. I asked that question on purpose because I know that there is
a lot of drama
history.
Yeah, a lot of drama with the golf course.
Yeah,
and so it did not work out well. So,
it's still operating.
It is operating.
And
it's great.
you know,
golf course is great.
It's a good golf course.
any golf course is great. Anytime I can get out with some clubs and my measuring sticks in my hand and on any golf course or whatever, I'm going, yes. I mean, the last few years it's been tough because of my accident and being able to play at the level that I did before. But it's still nice to get out there because
It's true. I did beat him at golf for the first time this year.
Yes, very first time.
It was pretty
And
good.
I think it was the day that my doctor gave me the first go-ahead to go out and play golf.
Crushed him.
And obviously I could not hit a ball, like if you've just had major back surgery.
Don't make excuses there, kid.
But Jason, he loves this because years ago we used to play badminton, right? And I had an issue back then, and I don't know what was going on, but I literally could not raise my arms higher than that.
Can you raise your arms higher than that now?
Yes.
There we go. Proved it.
But
okay.
The thing was, we're members at the badminton club in Kitchener, and but me, even though I'm hurting or whatever, if you go out and do something like that, it's taking your mind off of your pain and the issues or whatever. And I go, yeah, okay. So every time Jason needed a point, what would he do? Sail it high over my head so I couldn't get my arm up like this. And he beat me. And he beat me once in badminton too.
Know your enemy.
And then strike in their soft spot.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And my other son Josh, we're doing this cross Canada tour for charity, and we had a few days off, and we're out in Golden, BC. And now Josh has skied in out west, I believe, in the Whistler area, but he also skied in Switzerland, so there's some big hills over there too. Mm-hmm. But for me, Golden, BC was the highest I ever went on, because it was like 8,000 feet or whatever. And when we went, I had just had surgery on my knee.
So many surgeries.
And
super surgery.
Yeah, unlucky this way. I had surgery on my knee. And what happened was, it should have been fine. It's just orthoscopic surgery, and it should have been just fine, but it got infected. And I came very close to passing away because of this infection. And anyway, so I was starting to heal again and whatever, and then this was my very first time going to do something athletic. And
with one of your kids.
With one of my kids. And the kids have never, would out ski me or anything like that. We had a lot of fun skiing or whatever over the years, but we're up on top of this mountain or whatever, and so up at Kicking Horse Mountain, you take a gondola up a certain distance, you get off, and then you take a quad chair up another distance. But if you want to go from the very top, you get off the last chairlift, and then you've got to hike up with your skis on your shoulder another 300 feet up. So we didn't do it on the first run. We're doing this on our third run. And it takes quite a while to do each run because it's like a long way down, right?
Sure.
So we get up to the top, and you come to the edge, and you're looking over. And literally, I'm 15, 20 feet from the edge, and I get down on my stomach, and I'm crawling over because it's high. And you get to the edge, and you look over, and it's 30 feet down before your skis are even going to touch the ground. And I'm going, I go,
error.
So anyways, we found a spot where we can get off, and it's 10-foot drop, right? And then Josh goes, come on, Dad, you only live once. I'm going, if I go, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So you're yeah, but
listen,
with my legs broken on top of this mountain, I'm going to live for another.
What were you thinking? You just can't say no.
No, I love to.
This is a good piece of information to hang on to. He can be peer pressured, is what I'm saying.
It folds like a lawn chair when the pressure's on. Okay.
Now in my later years, now that I've had some issues and accidents and stuff like that they hurt your body, so.
Yeah, we'll get you into some serious trouble at some point.
Yeah.
So now,
but
there's
golf,
a real
golf
discussion
not
that we
too
have
bad.
to have.
I'll tell you. Wait, we need to hear this then, because golf is not so bad. Right. Because Jason might remember, after my knee operation, I could barely walk, and I'm staying at his house, and we decide to go and play a par 3 course at Bingham's, And
Sure.
so instead of bringing my
Walker?
what do you call them?
Crutches?
I bring 2 golf clubs, and I'm walking around the golf course with 2 golf clubs, upside down, and using those as canes. What did I shoot, Jay?
I have no idea. I don't even remember this at all. Sorry.
He has a
I
selective
assume
memory.
you beat me. That
I
goes
shoot-
without saying.
I shoot even par,
Oh, amazing.
and he goes, you're a cripple, and you shoot even par. How do you do that?
First of all, I would never call someone a cripple. Okay? That is rude.
No, it's not anyone.
I can't
It was his
believe that
dad.
You just said that.
It was his dad. No, was I not crippled?
Yeah, he was.
I was pretty. It was bad.
To be honest with you, I don't remember this at all.
Yeah,
Like the knee surgery?
The golf game.
Oh.
Yeah.
very selective.
But I do remember the knee surgery. Okay, so very real question. We're getting close to the end here.
Oh, okay.
If I told you that I could give you an android body, a robot body now.
Yes.
Okay. But here's
Sign
the
me
thing.
up.
Here's the thing. You can't just take your brain and put it into the android. Now, I can put you in a chair.
What's wrong with my brain?
No, because you
That's
can't.
what we've all been asking
You
for
can't.
so long.
You
Ken.
can't just take your brain out of your body and put it in a robot.
Why
okay?
not, Jay?
Because that's
In
not the way
Fantasyland?
science works. What we can do though, is we can
Put you into the chair.
put you in a chair. We can put a helmet on your head, which essentially will take all of your mind and transfer it like a USB stick over to this
Bluetooth.
robot.
Bluetooth.
Sure. So now the robot is going to wake up, and it's going to be you. But you're still going to exist.
Would I do that?
Would you do it?
Yes.
Now
That's
there's
a
going to be 2
no-brainer, Jay.
U's.
That's
There's
a
going to
no-
be 2 U's.
That's a no-brainer.
Because
There's not.
because
There's only one
because
you.
every day I'm in too much pain.
No, there's
And-
not only one you. There's 2 U's. There's one you, robot you, and there's one you that wakes up from the chair.
No.
Oh yeah, we're not going to just kill him.
No.
That would be murder.
He's in the chair. And
He's gonna-
the robot,
once he's gonna
the
take-
robot is an extension of him in the chair.
No. What I'm saying is we've just done a copy of his brain,
Ah.
and we've put it in the robot.
I thought you were
you're
I thought
not
you were
actually
doing
the robot.
You're not the robot. The robot is you, as you were right now.
And the robot's
Unfortunately,
going to go on and
it's
do
going to go on
cool
and do things. And
and
it's going
have
to be
fun.
you.
But
It's
am I
be
going
you.
to know it's me in the robot's? Oh well.
Well,
that-
yes, you will.
If I-
because you are the robot now.
Yeah. So if I know it's
So you
Hold on, everyone. Your brain is in the robot.
yes,
The robot is you.
yes.
But you,
but
you will be in
are
the chair.
also you right now.
You-
when you take the Bluetooth off,
He'll still
and
be
you're
Ken.
you're going to be Ken.
You'll
but
be
the
another
robot's
Ken.
going to be Ken.
There'll be another Ken
But
out
you
there.
won't be synced. You won't know what he's thinking from now on. But you
We'll
will
Oh,
live on.
so then I'm just going to sit at home and still be in pain every day.
Yeah. But
Well, that
you,
sucks. You
but
gotta-
you,
you
no,
gotta
but
come up
you
with
and-
something better than that.
I can't. This is what it is. You, the robot, gets to live on as you.
Like you're allowed. You're letting
Unfortunately,
Ken live forever.
correct. What do you think?
You're taking on eternity in your android body.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at it, and
Only 2. What's number one?
One way is throughout my life, the things that I've done or whatever. For the most part, I think I can impact people and be nice to people and help people improve, and whether it's playing sports or this or that or whatever. So I've always enjoyed doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can't do it physically and my robot could, then that would
Well,
be...
he's not your robot anymore. You don't own him.
Or do you?
No, you don't. He just
Or
goes on.
Do you?
No, you don't. He
Or
just goes
do
on
you?
and becomes.
But what if you
Oh,
did?
okay,
Robot Ken.
so what is the
But
point
somebody
of
owns
doing?
Robot
What
Ken.
is the point of
Who
doing
paid for Robot
that?
Ken?
If the person that you're taking the brain doesn't get any
Copy.
satisfaction of knowing what the person is,
I'll
what the
tell
robot
you-
is doing.
I'll tell you what it is. I would do it in a heartbeat. Because my brain would go into the robot, and new robot me, gets to leave and leave meat sack me behind forever.
But who owns the robot?
But how do you know
Nobody
what the
owns the
robot's
robot.
doing?
Who cares?
Paid for
I'm the robot.
But you're also
Yeah, I'm me too.
but you're also here.
I'm here too. Oh, I'm not here. I'm not gonna live at your house. But yes,
Who paid for the robot?
Google, I assume.
Bill Gates.
Probably.
So you can't just run off and do what you want. You have to do what Google tells you to do.
I'm cool with it. Google, hook me up. I'm ready.
Jay would put his brain into a hard drive.
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Instantly, he would.
I would put my brain in a robot that's on its way to Mars. Actually, I would probably just get on a spaceship to go to Mars right now.
I would go too,
Fair enough. Okay, Dad.
just for the adventure.
Something we ask all of our guests. First of all, we're not going to do trivia. Are you okay?
I would not
You took
go,
it,
but
John.
thanks for asking, you jerks.
You're not going to do
wouldn't go to
trivia.
Mars?
My first
No,
time.
I would not go to Mars.
You wouldn't go
You
to
wouldn't
Mars?
go to
Are you
Mars?
kidding me?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
Would you not want to be the first man on the moon?
No.
You can't be the first man on the moon, but
What?
you can
No,
be the
but-
first man on Mars.
What I mean is, wouldn't you want to be the first to do something that nobody's ever done before?
I wouldn't be the first, probably.
You know what's amazing?
I'd just be one of the few in the front.
Right, but you
Yeah.
could be the first person to go to one particular place in Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine.
You
imagine.
could have Constantville.
Yes.
Constant mountain range. Yeah.
Imagine-
I don't know.
imagine
I don't
the
know,
guys
life's pretty
that-
good here. Like,
Imagine the guys
just
that
be a footnote in a history book. I'm not sure.
sailed across and landed on the shores of Canada, and then started to discover and map out, like, through Baffin Island and all.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, mapping
How
out?
shit life was for them.
It must have been amazing.
I mean,
Like that show Alone, but you'd be like, you're alone, but you're.
yeah, yeah. So, and I hear you guys. But just like from my perspective, life's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Imagine taking your wife and your 2 children and going to Mars.
No, you can't do
yeah,
that.
I don't
Why?
really. Because what if they
it's
die?
a one-way trip.
Well, the plan is, if they're going to do that,
Yeah.
they have a plan that they are going to survive.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's not a plan.
suppose.
It's
But
not
the
a plan.
It's a high risk. It's
It
a
only
high
takes
risk
9 months to
operation.
get there. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not like you're gonna be.
Would there be a return journey because you need fuel to
maybe
get back,
someday?
right?
Yeah, they're gonna make
Maybe
fuel.
someday, but I think initially it's going to be a plan to go there, build places to live, and you're
Yeah.
going to stay there
Oh, totally.
until the next ship comes. And as the years progress, they're going to come
Yeah.
up with faster ways to travel. And
The
Absolutely.
first bunch of colonists are gonna go crazy, kill each other.
It's a movie, single location.
I mean,
you could meet up with some aliens,
I'm pretty sure
aliens
that-
on
I'm
there,
pretty
and,
sure there's been a few
and then you
movies
might
like
have
this.
to call up Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, we'll have to grow potatoes and poop.
Yes,
yes. Oh, Matt Damon.
that was a good movie.
Yeah, awesome movie. I'm not
You just
sure.
don't want to have an adventure.
Well, no, the thing is,
It's hard to in that movie though. It's hard to believe that when he was going to go up to his ship when they came back for him, and he's shot up there, and then the ship starts falling apart all around him, and it's like he's in the space. Yes, he was in the spacesuit, but you're traveling at certain speeds. He's traveling at a certain and faster too. Didn't he at one point? He was going faster, so everything is falling off his ship, the spaceship, and he's just in his suit. Well, how could he be going that fast? Let's say it's thousands of miles per hour or whatever.
Sure.
And you're just in a spacesuit.
Because there's
Spacesuit.
because
I
there's
said
no
spacesuit.
spacesuit. Because in space there's no friction.
no, eh.
So it doesn't matter how fast you're going. There's no friction.
You think there's no friction in space?
There is no friction in space. That's how spaceships can move
Yeah.
at those speeds.
And so in
They
that,
just keep going faster and faster as the thrusters fire.
so in that movie, was there not particles in the space? Was that ship?
Oh, if he
not-
hit something, he'd be in trouble.
Well,
But he'd be in trouble if he hit something in a spaceship too, probably.
totally.
Yeah.
That's why you see those space movies where like a tiny rock goes through a whole ship, like gravity.
I'm always surprised at any space movies that how the ships are not being obliterated by space debris like rocks and
Well, it's
asteroids
just that
and
there's.
this and that. or
I just
whatever.
don't think there's a lot of rocks floating around in space.
I think there's a lot of rocks floating
in
around
the
space.
Milky
I
in the
think
Milky
so, but
Way
it's
and the
just really
asteroids
big.
and stuff like that.
I think space is just pretty big, but like rocks are hitting things all the time.
I hope that people are watching this show going, "Oh my god, these guys don't know anything."
And they
They're
don't
so
know anything
dumb.
about it. There's no rocks in
These
space.
guys are so
There's lots
idiots.
of rocks in space. Yeah.
Well, we've never been in space, so you don't know.
Do you know what? When my girls leave home,
Then you're gonna
then
go.
I'll go to Mars.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. right? My boys are grown up. They're both going to be in high school. They're both moving on.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to Mars tomorrow, but I'm willing to give the consideration that, in 5 years, in 10 years, it's going to be time for us to try something brand new and something amazing.
So if
And
there
I'm
are
on board.
volunteers, you're going.
I would totally go. I mean, my wife might get mad.
She would be very mad.
I would go. They probably wouldn't take me because I'm too old.
It's true.
Or in another 10 years, I'm going to be too old.
But maybe they need.
And you're
maybe they
crippled
need
also.
someone that. They
That can
eat,
organize.
or they can eat somebody if they get really hungry.
See,
First in line to go.
I was going to say,
We're eating
Walking
the old
supply.
guy first. Yeah.
It's the walking supply.
It's called-
Hey,
it's
James
called-
McDougall.
It's called floating supply.
so I was a great organizer in the movie Shifted.
Right.
So in reference to something that Jason mentioned earlier, that I'm a hoarder.
Yes.
I'm an organized hoarder then.
It's true.
So it all
Whatever
works.
makes you feel better.
It all
You're
works.
going to hoard Mars rocks.
So
I
he
actually
does hoard
have rocks, by the way.
Hoards rocks.
You do not hoard
He
rocks.
does.
I-
He has a
real
bucket
thing.
of
I have
rocks.
You
collected.
do not have a bucket of rocks.
Oh, I do.
Are you for shit serious right now?
I have collected
Are you
rocks.
for SH1T serious?
I have collected rocks from all across the country.
Have you written on each rock where it comes from?
He's collected
Oh,
rocks.
fuck.
No, you want to know the funny part was? That would be
You have not written
no.
on the rocks.
No.
You don't even know where they come from.
That would
You
be
have a
cool.
bucket of rocks.
if he had
It's
done
from
that,
across the country.
that would have been smart.
Oh my
He
word.
just put them in a bucket. He's like,
like-
I think these rocks look awesome. Look at this red one.
That's
No,
amazing.
well, they were from my trip from the ocean in Victoria, BC, right back to Ontario here,
Yeah.
and they were all in a little bucket, and now they're out in my rock garden.
Now,
And I've got them in order all the way across.
No, you don't. No, you don't. He has them in some sort of order.
Yeah, however they fell out of the bucket.
so what qualified for a nice rock?
Something
Just
into the eye, man.
something that just catches my eye. Like, for example, one day I was down by Lake Ontario there, and I just bring my camera with me, and I'm taking just pictures. And just rocks fascinate me because of how they're shaped and how it's taken millions of years to
That is
shape
cool.
every single rock.
I love that too.
And I love rocks that you grab and it's like a stress reliever because they're like so smooth or whatever, but different shapes. And I've actually
Oh, you got a rock right here.
I just picked up a bunch more because
Just
I
picked up
am
a
not
bunch
a hoarder.
because I was actually thinking they're I play golf, so I mark my ball, right?
So now you.
So now I've got these beautiful, smooth, small rocks, and I might make one for you. I'm going to paint them.
Oh.
And I might make one for you and one for you or whatever. You just put it in your pocket, and then when you go to mark your ball, you can mark it with this. And so I'm going to paint like little Canadian...
my ball with it.
with the
Fucking
bigger,
rock.
bigger, something that's bigger than the golf ball.
Well, not quite, but...
If you hit my ball marker, that's a 3-stroke penalty.
But it's just going to be, I'll paint a little Canadian flag on a cute little rock,
Cool.
and it's just like a little ball marker.
All right.
So there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
You're going to get one from me for Christmas then.
I love it. I
Oh,
love
for
it.
Christmas. Not this Christmas.
Not this Christmas.
Let me tell you something. I know how this guy operates. Okay. Desert Island movies, Dad. We're at that time of the show. So, what we want to know from you are, what are your 3... Doesn't have to be favorite movies of all time, but it has to be a movie that you can watch again and again and again and again, over and over and over. These are the 3 movies you're going to bring to a desert island.
So on a desert island, you have electricity, a TV,
A VHS player.
and a VHS player, or a DVD player.
It better be a DVD
It's
player.
a Blu-ray.
No,
It's a
nothing new.
Blu-ray. It's a
Oh,
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray?
You get
There's so
Blu-ray.
many non-Blu-ray options.
What do you mean? There's so many non-Blu-ray options?
There's no way you get Bloodsport on Blu-ray these days.
Are you serious?
No fucking ways. That's a VHS/DVD
Really?
special for sure. Anyways,
You don't think
100%.
anybody's transferred it over to like
Well,
Blu-ray?
yeah, because the VHS.
Oh, Blu-ray.
There's probably no point because the VHS would have been such standard definition anyway.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. What you get to choose is your media as well. If you want to pick an old VHS movie, we'll bring a Betamax player. Here we go. Top 3.
I like
This is a tough decision.
the Bourne movies, especially the very first one.
Oh,
Born Identity.
Born
That
Identity.
is a good one.
The Bourne Identity.
Those are great.
Can I tell you
movies.
something about the
That
Bourne
first
Identity?
movie, it was amazing.
The first one is amazing. That first scene where he doesn't even know who he is yet,
Yes.
and but he goes home. He brings her to his house, and he's like,
Yeah.
I kind of remember that. This is my house. And the guy comes in, and he does this thing where he takes a knife, and
Or is it a pen?
No, he takes a knife, and he's walking to the door, and she's there, and he's like, oh, no big deal. And he just drops the knife behind him, and it lands in the floor.
Yes.
And then he keeps walking forward. That was so cool. And his first fight in that room was so brutal and something we haven't seen. We haven't seen in a movie, I don't think, in quite a while. Mm-hmm. Very, like, gritty and, the new Daniel Craig James Bond did it really amazing in that bathroom scene right at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But the Bourne Identity...
Brutal and real.
Was awesome.
He made it... He didn't know how to fight. He didn't know who he was, so he didn't know how to fight.
No,
but he
knew
had
how to fight.
It was muscle.
He knew how to fight, but in the scene, because he doesn't when he's fighting the guy, his expressions and all that is
true.
I can do this. Like,
it's true.
Yeah.
His expressions are very like, holy shit. Pow, pow,
yeah.
pow, pow.
Like it was all natural to him, but not having his memory, he didn't know that he could do that.
Right.
But everything just
Came so naturally,
to me, it was his facial expressions, whatever, that went, holy crap.
Cool.
You know?
Now I will say
crap.
my favorite part in that movie really is like it sums up the whole movie, which is when he's in the diner and he's sitting across the room from her, and he's sitting across the table from the German lady, and he says in I'm going to paraphrase it pretty badly, but he says, I don't know why I know that I can run 2.5 miles at full speed before my lungs start to burst, and I know that guy
can handle himself.
That guy's 200 pounds and he can handle himself, and the license plate, the cars, and that is what Bourne Identity is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know who I am, but I have this skill set.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole
amazing.
movie.
That's what I love about that. That was amazing. And then
Good
then the other ones
Good
that
pick.
came afterwards were pretty great.
Fine.
It's not very often that you get, like, I always thought that Indiana Jones, the first one, and then the next, well, I would say the next two that came out afterwards were great. And that was it the fourth one with Sean Connery or the third one with Sean Connery. So so the next two, it's very hard to get a sequel and then a third one out of it. Whereas I think Indiana got those. I don't think 4 or 5 were as
Indiana
good.
Jones got better and better and better. I would argue that
Even the fifth
one?
even the fourth and fifth one.
Yeah.
No, I would argue that.
Good. Because
I would argue that Raiders of the Lost Ark was great.
Yes.
I would argue that Temple of Doom was better. And then I would argue that The Last Crusade was fucking
best.
awesome. And then that was it.
Yes.
Now, if you watch the new Lara Croft movie, that was a major remake of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Down to, like, if you watch those movies back to back, there's a moment where she's looking through the book and she's like, the penitent man shall pass, or whatever. She's like, and then I will duck, and the thing goes over her head. It was great. But
Basically
I actually really liked,
cover.
I liked the Lara Croft movie, mostly because I loved Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So my second
Number 2.
one, probably one of my favorites with Mark Wahlberg is Shooter.
Oh, man. I can't believe that's on your list of watch again and again and again movies.
I have
Good movie.
Honest to goodness, I've probably seen it 10 or 12 times. It comes on TV, and like if it came on tonight, I'd probably sit down and watch it.
Okay.
And probably the
I'll
reason
give that one another watch based on this recommendation.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you should do instead is read the book Point of Impact that it's based off of. The book, have you read the book?
No. Do you
The
have
book?
it?
Yeah. The book is so much better than the movie. Like crazy.
Are you
better.
serious?
Because the thing is you know the movie pretty well, obviously. Okay, he's gonna hobble over. So,
Hey, Jay.
what are we working on? So, in the car, I told you about 2 new movie ideas that I had.
Yeah. Totally.
Have we made a decision?
Anybody want a chocolate bar?
Not really.
Yeah. Crispy Crunch.
Okay, I'm gonna have
had
a caramel.
caramel.
I just lied. Caramel, thank you.
We have made a decision on,
We've
on talking about things on the podcast. We've had a situation where we've been very open with our ideas on the podcast, and an idea that we have been very, very open about on the podcast. It could just be, obviously we don't have ownership over the entire concept, but like there's a local production who's kind of like got a similar thing going on, and it just feels really close. And the inspiration might have come from us, it might not have, but it doesn't matter. The point is that I think we're gonna just keep our ideas a little bit closer to our chest is our decision.
Going forward?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. It's just
it stung a little, just because even though it might not, we may not have influenced anybody at all, but we just tilted our heads and we're like, that's pretty close.
So you're saying that someone has come up with something similar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
And which happens all the time.
And probably does. And here's the thing. And I'm pretty sure you remember. I've actually talked to you this maybe a couple times or whatever about your ideas, and then just talking openly or whatever. Yeah. And you're going, well, that's the way we are and all that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's the same thing as in the past. I have actually come up with amazing inventions.
Yeah.
Not having the financial resources to take it, because one of them was going to cost me $100,000 just to get the first one out.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I did my research and all that or whatever, and that's what it was going to cost. Well, I didn't have it, so I couldn't do it. Well, it's only a matter of time before someone is going to come up with the same idea.
So
or
you know what you can do though is to try to avoid that time coming sooner, is not talk about them on a public podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Or share scripts and things like that online and stuff. It's no big deal, and it probably has nothing to do with anything. It's just maybe it's a better idea to keep things a little closer to the chest.
So if you talk about things that you've already done, or even that you're working on,
I feel pretty comfortable.
Stuff that's been completed, let's say, or whatever. Yeah, we did this.
Yeah.
I even feel pretty comfortable talking about Shifted, because the thing is we're talking about it, we're doing it, we're shooting it, and we're going to be releasing it shortly-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably next year. Next year, Shifted will be available for people to watch. So.
I'm very excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good.
And there's another one I can't wait for, but I won't say what it is.
Good.
Because
Please don't.
We all know what it is, but...
Oh, Postman?
Yes.
I mean,
everybody in the whole
that
world
one we can. That one we can talk about. We've. I mean, all the
everybody
concept
knows
videos
everything.
are out
To me, if
whole
anybody
concept
knows
is
whatever, that
in the trailer,
being part of that or whatever, and that competition or whatever, and all, that was, I obviously it was you guys doing the bulk of it, whatever. But I tell you, any little part that I was in and around or whatever, I mean, I was just totally excited. I love, like, from the very first trailer, I'm going, oh, I want to see this movie.
Postman's great. We are going to make it happen. Awesome. So, but I wanted to tell you guys about Shooter. So Shooter's a great movie with Mark Wahlberg. But the book it's based off of is called Point of Impact. And if you remember, he kind of gets brought in to help them figure out a plot. Okay? Figure out the best place
to do this.
To do an assassination.
That's right.
So the government comes to Mark Wahlberg, who's a great sniper, and comes in and says, hey, Mark Wahlberg, great sniper. Don't worry. Come and show us the best places where you would snipe this guy. But in the book, they get into way more detail, and it's way more elusive and elaborate. Essentially, they say, well, he would never accept the government coming to talk to him. So what they start off as is a bullet manufacturer. And they're like
even sneakier.
They're like Mark Wahlberg's character, who I think is what was his name? Do you remember? Ed Swagger. Bob Lee Swagger.
Bob Lee Swagger.
Bob Lee Swagger, you were one of the best snipers in the
And Earl Swagger was his dad.
Yeah. Bob Lee Swagger, you were one of the best.
Who's Earl Swagger?
What were the books that you gave me that had Earl Swagger?
That was different, but Pale Horse Coming.
Yes.
Pale Horse Coming. See, I just said it. We just said we wouldn't talk about things, but if I could option 10 books, Pale Horse Coming would be one of them. It's fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. It is amazing.
Surely it's
amazing.
optioned.
Probably, but it is so good. Anyways, so much better than Shooter. But anyways, I'm a bullet manufacturer, and what I want to do is you've shot thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds. I want you to come and test my bullets. We're going to pay all expenses paid trip to come down to our facility. You can see how the bullets are made. You can shoot thousands of rounds. We want your opinion on how to make our bullets to be the best bullets. And as he's going through this stuff, they're like, okay, and they start setting up this particular shot, this long shot that only he and a couple other people have ever made before, right, to test out these bullets. And he starts to kind of catch on that they're trying to set up this perfect shot that he took, which was like over a mile or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And then they start to kind of fill him in on, anyways, whatever. They've got him at this point, and
in the
it's
movie,
very sneaky, but it's great.
Yeah, in the movie though, if I remember correctly, the government came to him and said, "We have intel that someone's going to
kill the president.
To kill the president. We don't know how, and we'd like you to help us."
Yeah, identify.
How would you do it if you were going to do it? How would you,
Yeah.
And
because essentially the government, they say that the government knows who it is, and he's the only other guy in the world that can make this shot. And
so,
anyways,
where would you do it from? Where would you, So
the movie's awesome.
It was great, and one of the reasons why I really liked it is because of government, trying to control. I keep doing this. But trying to control, someone like him or whatever, and then and then eventually frame him, which they did or whatever, and then him fighting back or whatever, and restoring his name, and how he restored his name at the end was how he would take his firing pins out of every gun that he. Oh, did you see the movie?
I have seen this movie.
Spoiler alert.
So by taking the fire, so his weapon couldn't have been used, which I thought was absolutely amazing, or whatever. So.
Yeah,
that was it was a great movie.
Movie numero trio.
3.
Two excellent picks. Because the thing is about these 2 picks so far, not the best movies ever, but real rewatchable movies and lots of fun
and definitely solid action.
Yeah,
solid gun action. Hey, you like your traditional action movie?
I like my action movies, and I like heroes.
Yeah,
because I always want to be a hero. I've always said to Jason, I go in some movie, I want to be the hero.
Yeah.
Might be a little comic book thing that you're going to do, or a little 4-minute short or something like that. Because in some movies that you've done, I get killed off pretty quickly.
Are you willing to wear a cape and tights?
In the snow.
If I had to be the hero.
Tired of shooting in the winter.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3. There's definitely a lot of good movies out there, and one of my favorite actors is Sean Connery.
Yeah.
So you've got like The Hunt for Red October.
Oh man, you are going back to the classics.
But to me, I thought it was amazing. The Rock, because not only did you get Sean Connery, you got Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. That is a solid.
And again, I get goosebumps. Like if I was watching, I would get goosebumps. That's how good.
That movie is amazing.
Rita Ruz, the prom queen.
You know what? The Rock might be one of the greatest action movies ever made.
It's true. Mm-hmm. That soundtrack,
like traditional action.
Oh, the soundtrack was amazing.
The score by Hans Zimmer was fucking great.
That movie is amazing.
That scene when they break through and they're in like the shower, and then the other guys come and
totally.
Like, oh my goodness,
down,
like you don't.
Stand down.
Yes.
And then they just
and who was that? Who's that?
Like,
that's
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Yeah.
So you got Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage, Ed Harris.
You're almost sympathetic to the guy because he doesn't want to kill people, but they end up killing all the guys. So he ends up being a really bad guy.
Oh, that was tough.
Not on purpose.
That was tough.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Just a hair sympathetic towards the guy.
Yeah. I love The Rock.
Yeah, that is a great movie.
I've heard some of your other podcasts and all that, and other people have said the rock, and I thought, well, if I ever get on there one day or whatever,
I'm definitely not going to choose the
I'm
rock.
not going to choose the rock, whatever. But
The
you know,
Rock
when it comes
is
down to it, like if it's like if I was stuck on a place and only had 3, you know, I would say those are my 3.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We should
you know what?
somewhere keep track of every guest
And they
and what 3 picks
three
they've
picks?
had
Yeah.
and see which ones pop up. Shawshank pops up a lot.
I think you've had a few rocks.
Yeah.
I think the rock might have been mine. I'm not sure.
Do you know what? And I can imagine the person sitting there who had the initial inspiration for the idea. They're like, somebody needs to break into a prison.
Yeah. Especially Alcatraz.
Yeah, totally.
Like-
So you make the ultimate prison. In
Yeah,
America.
because that's the one everybody thinks. Well, there's only been like 3 or 4 people that have
Is that
in
true?
real life have ever.
No, there's been lots.
There's been lots.
Yeah.
I took the tour of Alcatraz.
Really?
Yeah, there's been a lot. And in fact, the last
And
3
they've-
are still missing. And they say that they know where they are after all these many years.
There's
They know
lots
where all
that
of
have
the
tried,
escapees
but
are.
there's
None
lots
of
of
the last 3.
there's lots that have tried, but have they lived?
Some, yeah.
So and are the last 3 alive?
Well, they're dead now, but
they
from old
were-
age.
Oh, I only thought there
That's
was like
awesome.
very few that actually
They say
lived.
there was tons of escape.
that lived.
I don't know, maybe. But
Wow.
there was actually some. When I went and
That'd
I
be a
did
great
the
swimmer.
tour a couple times, it was a really cool tour. Like they had actually a really bloody battle where the inmates got out and like got guns and guards and had a whole like
Little war.
little war with the guards, and they had to bring in more police and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
What was neat about the movie itself was that there's this tour, and people are just tourists like you went there. So can you imagine if you went there and that happened? Oh my
I can
goodness!
totally imagine it.
You know,
You were hoping for that when you went there. You were like, please, let
just
somebody
wanna meet
throw
Nicolas
me in
Cage.
stuff.
Awesome.
And then are you going to be the prom queen?
Sure.
You would be the prom
It
queen
wasn't
for Nick
Rita.
Cage?
It wasn't Rita. It was Carla. Carla was the prom queen.
Mm-hmm.
Nicolas Cage has been.
Losers always whine about the best.
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Fuck.
And fuck the prom queen.
If you come in
Gotta work
second,
on
it
the
just
Scottish.
means you're the first loser.
It's true. That's a good point. All right, Dad. Thanks so much for joining us on our podcast. Come back 2 years from now.
Thanks, Kenneth Green.
You're very welcome. I enjoyed it immensely.
It was a good show. We will. You're gonna see more photos of Dad. Maybe we'll do another podcast while we're shooting Shifted if we have a free minute. But Dad,
Oh yeah, you got to
be
send me
back.
some pictures of what we were doing the other day there with the.
Oh, with the mask.
Yeah, I'd like to see some of the.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They took some pictures.
Yes, we
So,
did.
yeah,
We
send
did
me
take a
few.
picture. One of the pictures is on our Twitters, on our Instagrams.
Insta tweets.
The picture with the monster.
That was Ken's real
That was
face.
me.
That's his face.
That's
real
his real face.
Every day.
Yeah.
So everyone, we're gonna wrap up this show.
Totes.
Dream big.
Work hard.
Thanks for watching.
First frames first.
Yes, first frames first. Thank you, Jason.
Welcome.
If you enjoyed, head over to our website, www.thefableforest.com. Check out our films and sign up for our newsletter where we will send you exclusive content.
Hit us up on our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, always at The Fable Forest. And share our show with your friends. It'll really help us out a lot.
Dream big.
Work hard.